I'm Cato Goodyng, owner and operator of Goodyng Services. I've done work all around the city of Flores Park, but there's a reason why we're based out of Shadow Valley. The city has its police force and Alpha Corps. It even has superheroes that patrol the streets. They're more than capable of dealing with various threats. Shadow Valley is full of hard-working, honest people. It's unfortunate that the city acts like you don't even exist. And that's why we're here. Let's be honest, the city allocates little resources for Shadow Valley. That's why they're so late to respond to issues. Good people deserve good service. For our great citizens, we provide it all. From firefighting to criminal investigations, you can count on Goodyng Services.
Goodyng Services has a bundle for all budgets. You can be fully protected with emergency response for just $49.99.
What up, everybody? Hope y'all are doing well. It is a random Saturday. It's not really random. I'm not here for a random reason. I'm here because, well, we have a couple of days, today and tomorrow, last few days, a couple of days, excuse me, until the campaign or collection. Again, I can't not be used to saying that because we've ran, 4 campaigns by now. Collection. That expires, the pre-order collection will expire at midnight going into Monday. So basically today and tomorrow are the last days that you can get your pre-orders in. Now, I'm not logged into the back end right now, so I can't see it. But last time I checked, there were only like 60 of the cover C's left. So I'm going to talk about that here in a little bit. But yeah, that's you might want to go pre-order those because they probably aren't making it through the weekend. So go grab those. But yeah, thanks to you all for the continued support. Goodyng has sold over 9,000. Over 9,000! I don't have one of those shits, scouters or whatever. So, but it is over 9,000. Do we hit the 10,000 mark? Very doable. Probable. I don't know. We'll see. But it is very doable. We are closing in, I think, on 9,400. So we got, a day and some change to get 600. And that's very doable. Wasn't that long ago we had 8,000. So very doable. We'll see what happens. I will be streaming tomorrow. We'll do a closeout stream, of course, tomorrow. Man, my days are going to be busy basically this upcoming week. Got some stuff that I'm doing. We have, obviously, fulfillment's going to start on Monday. We're preparing for the next release as well. So all sorts of things going on. It's going to be a crazy, crazy, crazy week for us. So be on the lookout. I can't wait for you guys to get Goodyng, the Polymath. You're going to love the book by OG Mike Barron and Will Conrad, Jay Brown on the colors as well. So thanks to all of you that got in on that in pre-order. You still have some time, so go grab those. We have some other things that we have to discuss, of course, in the short box is now available. And things have changed. We don't rely on campaigns anymore. So we just release things when we are ready to release things. So we have the ISOM short box, ISOM themed short box is available for purchase right now for pre-order. It has the fulfillment date on the actual production page or product page, excuse me. So go pre-order that. We did do it a little differently this time in that we are not gonna, just for the sake of how we ship it, because we ship it obviously in a special shipper. So it'll be the only thing that you'll be able to grab if you are ordering or checking out the short box, similar to kind of with the Yaira statue, because it's a unique item. You can't really purchase it with other things. So we did that, though you can purchase multiple short boxes because it's all coming in this specialized shipper. That'll be the only thing that you can order with that, for, at least for the time being. Probably going to do around 2,000 prints, much like we did last time, okay? So grab those. They are collectors short boxes, so they won't be reprinted, though they are functional. They're collectors, but they're functional. And what I mean by that, is you are going to be able to actually store your books. A couple of things I want to clarify. Same thing I did the first first box. You see a lot of these digital printed, glued like graphic boxes, typically. Cheaper, obviously, a lot more thin, and again, they're glued. I've had those. They break apart. I probably could go grab you an example of one of those as well. Not really the best of quality, because really it's more of a show thing. These are not the case. So if you are familiar with, let's say, like BCW boxes that are obviously functional, it has similar stock in terms of the cardboard is built out of. So it is a very sturdy box. All of our customers can attest to that. And it's also litho printed, which is much better than digital. Colors come out a lot better. It just looks better. So be sure to go grab that now, because we're only going to do 2,000 of those. All right. I got a bunch of stuff that I want to talk about. Before I start getting into stuff I want to show you. So I have 3 of the covers. The only cover I don't have is D, because I accidentally grabbed 2 A's from the headquarters. All the books are being bagged and boarded to prepare to ship to you guys. So, this is Kanan White. He can't do wrong. Kanan can't do wrong. So, this is the best it's going to be. So shout out to Kanan. We got the gorgeous cover A. It's in the bag. All of these are in the bag. Will Conrad, his cover B. Now, Will is the interior artist. Of course, he had to do a cover. So shout out to him. And this is the one the guys that are here, I want to show you, because this might be, did a video, a short, a reel, whatever the kids call it these days, on this. And I said that this might be, in terms of the application, the best cover that we've released to date, as far as the special treatment. Now, we have done covers. We've done, 3 or 4 of those. We've done metallic ones like you see on the Ripperverse, a little different of a feel. Same with the Joe Bennett art book, which I really, really loved how that came out. This one right here, though, with art by Ronaldson. Shout out. The reason why this is because we've learned so much. I mean, that's kind of just how it goes, okay? It's one of those things that you put a cover out, you have it go through print, comes out a way, but you learn ways that you can improve. And this is why I think they continue to get better and better. Now, like I said, there are only 60 of these damn things, okay? And as you see, this thing shines like no other, bros. It's embossed. So as you see Goodyng there, and some of the other art is actually popping out of the damn, look, the light can't even contain it. It's so shiny. So as you see, this is about as good as it's going to get. It has foil on some of the cover, some of the actual text here. Got our embossing. Even some of the back has embossed stuff as well, and foil. Like I said, this is about to sell out. So if you don't grab it right now, I cannot guarantee that you will see it in the future. And this also applies, considering how many we got printed, also applies to the ones that we appear with at shows. Reason why I bring that up is we are, as always, we analyze how many we sold, because we always make sure that we get our print numbers and we don't sell, obviously, all of them. So if I get 2,000 of something printed, I'm not going to put 2,000 up for sale, because I need to account for damages, especially like when they get to us, right? From shipments. We have to account for lost goods. We have to account for a lot to make sure that we have enough. Okay. So usually what we do, and this applies to all of our product, we'll undersell just to make sure that we have enough, or try to. And sometimes we'll be dead on, like the ISOM hat. The ISOM hat, that there's like 2 or 3 of them like that are laying around our warehouse, but there's no more of the ISOM hat because we pretty much nailed it on those. But sometimes we'll have the overages, right? Because there weren't that many damages, that type of thing. So in that case, what'll happen is we will grab our numbers. Brandon usually will see how much we have as far as our inventory, and then we'll see how many we can afford to actually put up for sale, whether it be on our website or us appearing in person. So it varies. So same thing will happen with these books. We'll assess, but I will tell you right now, after we go through, again, the entire collection being fulfilled, there's probably not going to be that many left, if at all. So you're going to want to get yours right now. There's not that many of those left. So go to rippaverse.com and go grab that cover C. They all came out amazing, as always. Of course, I'm rocking, I think this is your first view of the Goodyng Services shirt here that you can purchase as well. And the same thing applies to those. Because our release schedule is speeding up, we're not going to be reprinting a lot of the shirts. It's kind of one of those. There'll be evergreen products, but stuff like this, we'll sell these out, and then we'll move on to the next Goodyng design or the next design for whatever we want to do, because we want to make sure that our people that stick around, that have become invested, the go-to form of I saw Andrew message us. That may be because it's sold out. So you might want to check that on the back end, Andrew. So it may be because it's sold out already. That means we pretty much got our numbers just like that, which is what we're trying to do. We've gotten a better gauge of how many we're going to sell after the fact, but again, a lot of it has to do with the fact that we're moving on to the next thing. We get the stuff out, and we want to come up with new things that you guys are going to be able to purchase. So we're not going to do, again, we don't rely on campaigns. When we were relying on that, it made a lot of sense. You're putting all these items, things that people can buy, and then you have to wait for the next one. See, we don't rely on that as our format anymore. So that was the point of moving to the collection. So we didn't have to sit up here waiting for that. And now we get to do more things. So there's going to be more random merchandise drops. There's going to be books, obviously, being released far more frequently. And there's just going to be more cool things that we're doing because we're operating like a actual publisher should, and that we are creating content for the people that want to buy it. Simple as that. It's just really that simple. So appreciate that. I see that some people talked about extra smalls being the only ones available in some of the shirt packs. That may be because the Goodyng Services shirt has sold out. I don't know. Andrew said he's going to check right now, so I'm not exactly sure if that's the case, but it may very well have sold out there. So I'll make sure to follow up on that after the stream. But it very may well have sold out. Guys, you're going to want to start getting in on stuff. Andrew just said they're all out. They're all out. So they did sell out. So, congratulations to all of you. And it'll be the same thing. We'll analyze that, and we'll see. There may be an opportunity for you to get some afterwards that we'll put up for sale, perhaps, because we'll analyze the inventory after we get all the collection items out. And there'll probably be a few that are still around that you're going to be able to buy. So, this is how it is, guys. We're not just doing it just to do it. Like the pre-orders run in the way that they run in a collection format for a reason, right? We want to make sure that you're able to get what you want, but they're running several days, right? This was like 30, 40 days, something like that. I can't remember how when we launched the collection for Goodyng. So yeah, get in, go ahead and get those in. Definitely the merchandise items. Books, you're probably going to be fine, probably up until the last final day, but they are limited in quantity. You guys know how we do, and this is why we gauge. We see how many people are buying at the time, and then we'll say, okay, here are the print numbers. This is it. And it's that because, going to reprint only 50 copies is not going to be feasible, for example, as well. Same can be said for some of the shirts. So we do our best, and we've really done a good job of nailing down what the quantities need to be. Okay, so when we launch, guys, and a new collection is going to be dropping very soon. You also know by the end of the summer, so we have until the middle of September, you know that Horseman's going to come too. So we're going to have these collections live. We're going to have these pre-orders live. Don't be lollygagging. I say that because, again, we're going to put these things out, and we're going to be designing new things for our purchasers to get. So we're always going to keep a book around. So even after A, B, and C sells out, cover D will be available all the time. So that's a mass print, and we're transparent with you. We let you know that those mass prints are going to be the ones that get reprinted. But cover A, cover B, cover C, that ain't getting reprinted. The best opportunity that you'll have to get it if you don't get these last copies are going to be either one at a con because we had them, and two for we put them up for purchase because we analyzed our inventory and we understood that, we had a few more that we can actually put up for sale because, like I said, we don't put all of them up for sale. We'll get as close as we can realistically, but we also have to account for, again, damages and lost goods and all that stuff. So grab them now. Grab them right now. Grab them right now. Appreciate you guys so much. For all of the love that you guys have shown. Glad you are enjoying the you've had fun through the collection, but I'm also glad that you're just generally enjoying the Ripperverse. Thank you so much for the continued support. You guys are awesome. So let's see. Let me pull this stuff up. All right. So this says 9,300. We've sold more than that. It's a cash thing. Do we hit 10,000 by the end of tomorrow? We'll see. That would be a hell of a milestone for a character like this. And, just a little general collection. We didn't go too crazy. There's not that many items. The cheapest book that we've released up to date. Actually, only 3 items. So when I say not that many, I mean only 3. We only have the book. The shirt, which is no longer available, and at least unless you get an extra small, and the poster, the Goodyng Services poster, which is right there. So it's only 3 items, and all of them are cheaper than they've ever been. Cheaper than they ever been. So this has been a crazy, fun little collection. Can't wait for you to read the actual story, of course. I do believe that Will Conrad, not that I believe, this is a factual statement, he is one of the best in the business. He's really good. He does his job. Professional. We have some other cool things that we're doing as well. Oh, and shout out to Andrew. He just brought up. We are, which I didn't notice, creeping up on 275,000 in total sales for Goodyng the Polymath. So thank you guys so much. We really do appreciate you, man. Again, just a lot of our releases are going to look like this. General pre-orders, small collections, so not that many items. So it's great to see that you guys are still supporting us and showing us the love that you guys show. So thank you guys so much because this is no small feat to sell that many books, right? That's pretty fucking epic. To put this in the perspective, this is on books, not signed books. If we sold 10,000 base versions, right, of like ISOM as an example, that would be what? I'm not the greatest at math. Was that 350 if they were at the $35 mark? If they were, that'd be what, 350,000 on books alone. That wouldn't be merchandise, signed copy, CGCs, none of that. That would be just 350,000 on books sold alone. The cheapest book that you can get is $18, cheapest release that we've had so far, lowest price release, and yet and still we are closing in on 275,000. So thanks, man. I really do appreciate you, man. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing, man. Thank you guys so much. The box. Let's talk about that real quick. The collector's box is right here. Second box, we're just gonna do a series of them. Let's just call it that. This one's the first ISOM themed. The first one was Ripperverse themed. This one's just ISOM themed, and then we're gonna have some more themed works as well. And yeah, isn't that fun? That one day you might wake up, you go to rippaverse.com, you go to the store, or maybe you were notified via email because you're signed up to our newsletter. And then you see that something really, really cool is up for purchase. So go get this right now. You can pre-order it. As it documents here, the estimated ship date is going to be roughly around. They do take a while to make. It take almost a month to make these boxes. So we'll have them soon enough. There'll be about 2,000 of them, I'm thinking, roughly, give or take. So yeah. Man, you guys are amazing. So appreciate y'all, all the love that you've shown. And yes, I continue to bring this up because it's very important. Goodyng the Polymath. Obviously, a lot of you guys have taken advantage of our new shipping partnerships that we have. And our presence is not less of a partnership, but more of us just having a physical presence in our 3 major countries, not including the U.S. That's Canada, UK, and Australia. So if you are from those countries and you get just books, you'll be able to take advantage of some very, very low priced shipping, as well as not having to worry about the duties and taxes and such. So, or it'll be duties paid essentially at one transaction. So you won't be surprised getting another thing. Go grab that and take advantage of that, because obviously we send them all out at the same time. We only send them out like twice or so, a couple of times a month, as we document that with that special version of shipping. So be sure to get in on the Goodyng. Again, there's apply just books. If you end up adding something else to the, like if you add something else to it, it's not going to apply. Obviously, that like $7 shipping if you're based out of the UK, it's not going to apply. So be sure to have only books in that order, and it will recognize that, and you'll be able to take advantage of that special shipping rate if you are in one of those major countries. So grab those. You guys know that shipping has always been one of those things that, you know, every independent struggles with, because it, you know, a lot of it is out of your control. You know, if you don't have a presence in those physical countries, it can be very, very difficult. And now that Amazon is a thing, you know, everybody expects you to be competitive with Amazon in terms of their pricing. So it can be a challenge if you are an independent. So it's one thing that we work so very hard on. We work very, very hard on shipping, and we're always constantly getting our prices down. We're being competitive with our parcel companies, always negotiating with them and making sure that we pass those savings on down to you guys. We don't like keep the shipping the same that it is or was it before, and then we just kind of make a little money off of it. No, like if the shipping's cheaper, you're going to pay for cheaper shipping as well. And we're always working. And that was one of the big, I was really, really excited when we finally announced that. So be sure to go take advantage of that, because like I said, we don't ship every day with those rates. Or when I say we don't ship every day, you can buy it at any time. Just understand that depending on where it falls, it's going to go with the next shipment. So that may be the following Thursday or whatever it is. So just be sure to get in on that so you can get with those guys that are going to be all the others that have got in on the Goodyng collection. So yeah, we'll be working on those starting Monday, guys. Fulfillment's going to happen. I'm going to see you guys, books in hand. Please retweet or post, and we will be retweeting those. Show love, do your reviews as always. So thank you. We appreciate you. And roger that, Andrew, got that message. So thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, so what else do we have here? Congrats on 9K books sold. Thank you. That's no small feat, bros. That's a lot of fucking books, man. So thanks. And we appreciate you, and you're going to love it. You're going to love it. We know that this is not like a story that we've told before, but when you have Mike Barron on deck, he's going to still knock it out the park with this character. He's not like a superhero in the traditional sense, obviously, but he's a very valuable member to our universe this early on. People loved him in ISOM 2 in his appearance. So having Mike Barron help flesh him out, help get the audience more acclimated to who he is and what he does and why he is the man that he has become. You are going to learn a lot more about Cato Goodyng. And Will Conrad, like I said, I mean, you guys have seen the preview art. He's one of the best in the business. He's one of the best in the business. He's just very, very talented, very good at what he does. And he's doing other covers for us. He's doing future projects for us. So we have a lot of cool things that are in the works. We want to keep these guys active and want to keep these guys employed, if you will, because they do great work for us. And again, I love working with professionals, man. I know that may sound like, oh, shouldn't that be obvious? Well, you would be surprised. There's a lot of talented people out there. And definitely when you're dealing with arts, it can be still like herding cats sometimes. I say this as someone that, has been in the music industry, and I know how you got some very, very talented individuals who have work ethic. It's like non-existent. Professionalism doesn't exist. Business sense for sure. Seen it all the time in music. But being able to work with professionals and create is a blessing. And it's why the Ripperverse is the way the Ripperverse is. It's because we have absolute professionals that are here doing their thing day to day, grinding and doing the best work. Like I said, we don't rush people here. I'm not one of those, hey, you need to have this done, and I don't care how crappy it is. No, that's not how it works. We it's a standard, obviously. You got to make sure that deadlines are being met, but the deadlines are usually self-imposed for our creators because we want to do their best work. So usually I'm always asking, and every creator that works for me knows that. I'm always like, okay, how long for you to do? I usually phrase the question in that way. It's like, for you to do the best work that you possibly can, how many pages can you get done a day? Or how long is it going to take to do this script or to do this design or video or whatever, for you to do your best job? And they'll tell me, and then we make the deadlines based on that, right? Because we want to make sure that these guys are doing, they're creators, right? And generally, creators want to feel good about what they put out there as well, even if they're not, even if it's a commission, that doesn't mean that they aren't proud of their work. So for them to do their best work, they let us know, and we have them do they do the work. And these guys that I've had the luxury of working with here at the Ripperverse are professionals, and they work very hard, work extremely hard at what they do. So I love them. Big shout out to them. And, it's a lot. It's not easy, but it is easier to have the success that we've had when you are working alongside great people that are also motivated and professional. So I want to give a big shout out to all the artists, all the people in the back office here as well, our editors, everybody that works for the Ripperverse in some capacity, and of course the supporters and fans. You guys make this go round, man. So appreciate y'all big time. Appreciate y'all. All right, let me get to some of these super chats real quick. Go pre-order Goodyng if you have not already. I don't know what it says on the back end as far as how many of what items that we have. But like I said, prior to the stream, it was only like 60 of this lovely cover C. Only 60 of these available. So once they sell out, they sell out. You'll have to get lucky because they will not be reprinted at all. Loved how they turned out. Got the embossing there. Got that nice little shine there. Got the foil on some aspects of the cover as well, such as the drones and the title. It's just all around just a lovely, lovely, lovely book. So you better go grab it. All right. let me pull up the super chats if you don't mind. Okay. All right. And there we go. You know what? I'll just read it from here. Looking forward to Goodyng, coming from Isaac. Have y'all been getting shitty storms all week in the DFW area? Houston has been crap. Not this week. I mean, we got some rain, I believe, but it hasn't been anything just crazy. Be careful out there, man. Defendo99 with a 5 says, gonna have to read that full cover with oven mitts because it's so hot. It is, quite literally. You know, came out looking good, but it's also fiery. Love that design of the cover. Shout out to Ronald. Johnny Red with a 5. My CGC box is almost full with Ripper books. I'll send pics. Need Ripper CGC box. Send help. Thank you in advance. Yeah, one of the things when I get back to work after some of the business I got to take care of early in the week, I'm going to get with my manufacturers and we're going to talk about potentially doing something like that. Like a CGC specific, because obviously these boxes aren't short boxes aren't for CGC copies, but we do often do signature series stuff, and we have quite the collection now, so it makes sense to do one. So I'll fix it. I'll fix that problem and get you guys some Ripperverse themed carriers or storage items. Let's just call it that, because I don't know how it's gonna exactly come out. We usually put our heads together and see what makes the most sense. So, yeah. Was that question? I thought the sketchbook was a I guess, repressed thing. I guess you mean reprint it. But it was on sale last month. Was that a reprint? No. If you're talking about the concept art, no. The concept art has never been reprinted. It's just the same thing that I was saying earlier. And the same thing will happen with Goodyng. Same thing will happen with every release. When we do our initial pre-orders, we sell slightly under how much we printed. Obviously, just for business. Because if I print 2,000 of it and I sell 2,000 of it, and a box came back damaged, or there was other sorts of damages, lost goods, stuff like that. Well, you see what happens there. That becomes a problem. So we usually sell under slightly to make sure that we have enough. Sometimes, we'll have like some leftovers. They'll be reserved for shows. They'll be put up for sale, special sales, or they'll just be put back in the store until they sell out. It just depends on how many there are and if it makes sense for that specific item. But they won't be reprinted. They won't be reprinted at all. So concept art is one of those. We still have a few of those there that are around. So when we did the Ripperverse, I think you're referring to, that's what you're referring to. You're referring to the Ripperverse Day sale, which is a couple of weeks ago now. And yeah, we had that up for sale as well as some of the other items that we no longer just have in our general store. So that's how we generally do it, just to make sure that we're good. And we have enough for specialty. Again, we do shows. We want to make sure that we have books there at our shows, but also there's those times where we just actually, because the point is to get accurate, right? It's not on purpose. So we have things like the ISOM hat, for example, where it's sold out, and that's it. Like I said, there's a few of them that are in the actual warehouse, but we can't even put it for sale, even if we went to like a what do you call it? The like a con. Brandon has confirmed, there's in the chat, Brandon has confirmed, operations manager of Ripperverse has confirmed that there's only 42 cover C's left. That's it. 42 cover C's. That's it. So less than 50. Those are probably not making it through the night. They won't be reprinted. You have to get lucky if we do have some, but there's a chance that we don't have jack after we analyze it. So be sure to grab that right now. That's the cover C foil edition of Goodyng the Polymath will not be reprinted, but the same can be said about covers A and B. They won't be reprinted as well. There's just a little more of them left. So it's limited. Go grab it right now. Gatekeeper with a file. Joining this channel is not the same as joining the Ripperverse, is it? No, not at all. Because obviously with joining the Ripperverse, you get access to, and I love seeing it. I love seeing the screenshots, right? And you see someone said, hey, I just got in on this. And then right there at the bottom, it says free shipping because they're a member at the higher tiers. So they ain't got to pay jack shit for shipping. Domestic, obviously. So it's different, but I also want to discuss that, guys, and I cannot stress this enough. On the latter half of this year, which we're basically already there, but in a few, maybe within the next couple of months, we're really, really going to be going crazy with these memberships. What I mean by that is we're going to be doing very cool things with it. Perks are going to be getting better. We've talked about having forums and making a little bit more officialized in terms of our communication, allowing you guys to link up with each other. Yes, we have the Guildeds and we've had our Discords and all that, but we need something Ripperverse official that we can do unique things for our members and for our customers. And also, we have a cool thing that we're doing, or many cool things that we're doing with Ripperverse Studios. And we do believe that a lot of that is going to be hosted on our membership platform. So there's going to be a massive push for those memberships in the next couple of months or so as we get ready for, cool things. Be on the lookout for that. 49 months, 4 years. I got the original ISOM short box. ANCAP Gamer with the 49 months. Shout out. That is an eternity. Eternity. Shout out ANCAP Gamer, one of my first members. Helped me get my Twitch off the ground as well when I was doing my thing there. Shout out ANCAP Gamer. Love to see you here. Love to hear that you're doing well, bro. Psychotic Mongoose with a gifted membership. Shout out. We got Creative with a 24 months Ripper. When are we getting Ripperverse plushies? Yeah, interesting. I do want to get in some more of the like toy market and all that cool stuff. Obviously, we dabbed into it with the McFarlane collaboration, and we have some more things that we want to do as well. Some cool ideas. So I can't say when, but we'll see. Gatekeeper becoming an Ultra Mac. We have a 10 from Gatekeeper as well. Says, I'm becoming a real fan of yours, so I'll join your channel and become a member. You can do both. Not knocking that at all. I'll be building my collection of your material late. Hey, you're not late. Other people were just early, but that don't mean you were late. Says, building my collection of your material. He says, once I've decided to become a fan, it's for life. Hey, I appreciate you. I know that there's going to be a lot that have a similar story. Where again, your go-to form of entertainment is going to be Ripperverse. It's going to be one of the things, whether it be from the actual entertainment element, getting lost in the world, getting lost in the universe, some of the collectible stuff. Everybody kind of has their little collectible. Not everybody, but you get what I'm saying, a little hobby. So wherever it is, I appreciate you guys that are going to be lifers and are going to be longtime supporters of the Ripperverse. You guys are getting here at the ground level. I know it's kind of hard to believe, but it's only been 2 years, man. That's it. It's only been 2 years. It was 2 years as of a couple of weeks ago. That's it. So we're just getting started, man. Even in year 5, I would consider that like the infancy still of this company. So it's a lot of growth going to happen. A lot of new books, the universe building that we have to do, which is a big part of why we're speeding up our kind of release schedule. Because I mean, we could sit up here and talk to a blue in the face about what we're gonna do, but we got to put the shit out at the end of the day. And so as long as you guys will have us as your comic book universe that you want to get lost in, we're gonna keep producing for you. We're gonna keep it moving, bros. So thanks. So we have the next big major book, though it won't. I mean, we have other I told y'all we're gonna have a couple of active collections this upcoming month in August. Expect more than one, but we have Horseman coming up soon enough. That'll be pretty big. And I can't remember if I've announced this publicly, but the plan is to that will, because I talked with Chuck. There's a lot of logistics, man, that goes into CGC copies. I do believe we're going to be able to do them for the Signature Series for Horseman. He wants to do them. So I do believe that we are going to be doing those. So expect that. I got some other cool things that we're doing alongside Horseman. You guys saw not too long ago, we showed you all the cover for, and I guess I can go to it, the cover for Blood Ruth. I'm going to go ahead and pull that up real quick in case you guys missed it, by our man's Canaan White. Take a look at this. Woo! What's up, Dan? I saw your text come in yesterday. I'm gonna get back with you today. You just reminded me about that, with you hopping in here. But yes, Canaan White's Blood Ruth cover. I'm really excited for this book. The Saskas did a great story. Michael, who won the fan art contest, is grinding right now, and he's chipping away. It's coming out so clean. So yeah, man, there's a lot of cool things that we got on the horizon. We got the next Ripperzine. We have, what else? I'm just making sure I don't NDA myself. What else do we have that I haven't mentioned? I mentioned Ripper. Obviously, ISOM 3 is pencil and ink's done. That'll start colors soon. Yeah, I have 2 to 3 projects. Actually, there are active right now. There are Yaira 2 is being worked on as well. Deborah's working on that. Jay Brown, who just obviously finished up Horseman, so he's hopping on Yaira 2 right now for the colors. But there's some unannounced books that we have as well that have are near completion. They still have some work to do, but it's pretty far along. I feel like I'm missing maybe one more, but yeah, it's just constant work, bros. Constant work. But yeah, I think you're gonna love Blood Ruth. First, full horror story that we've released, and of course, who better than the Saskas to do it? You're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna enjoy it, man. So yeah, next big book will be Horseman, though. So we'll keep you guys posted on when we'll be ready to launch that collection, as well as what all items will be there associated with it. We'll keep you guys posted. Garfield's Bazaar Adventure, what's up? With a 50! Woo! Ain't cheap. It's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. That ain't cheap. And if you missed out, there's 40 of this lovely cover. I'm a salesman, so I got to repeat myself. Left. Once they sell out, they sell out. When's the August line dropping? We'll see. It's hard to say, but yeah, we have some collections that we are preparing right now that'll be active in August. What those are, you have to wait for, of course. But yeah, I'm working on it. Actually, a lot of what I'll be doing this weekend, as well as early next week, will be pertaining to that. So Got a lot of work to do. A lot, man. Shout out to Garfield's Bizarre Adventure for that 50, because that ain't cheap. That's a lot of fucking money, make no mistake. A lot of money. I will talk about, because Kara actually, her and I were talking about this yesterday, right? So we got the poll results. Thanks to everybody that filled that out. Got to be taking advantage of those. Like, you know, we try to get feedback from our audience. And we also, you know, do cool stuff for you guys that actually participate in those polls. Go out your way. You get coupons and stuff. So be sure to do those. We are going to, well, we've already analyzed. There's a lot of data that's come back from that. It's very helpful. And I will at some point formally go through that data with you all to let you know what the plans are for salvage. We'll let you know soon enough. If you don't know what salvage is, you should go get the Ripperzine, #1. It is available to you still, base version. What else we got? So, trying to think of what else. I already mentioned ISOM 3, what stage that is in. I have my next, I've gone through kind of some of the layout phase of the next project I'm working on after ISOM 3. Obviously, we got a ways before I let y'all know what that's going to be. But yeah, it's going to be fun, bro. Whoa, barbecue pits with $100. Jesus. Compton back in the chat. That's not cheap, by the way. That's a lot of money. Says youth minister working insane hours Monday through Sunday. So I give glory to God for blessing me with my Ripperverse collection as an outlet. Anytime I get a break, wifey knows what to get me for birthdays, Father's Days. Shout out to you, your family. And obviously that's a noble effort right there. Full-time ministry, because that ain't no jokes. A lot of time and a lot of effort that goes into that. And shout out to you, spreading the good word. And I appreciate you being a fan of us here at the Ripperverse, brother. Thank you so much. $100 ain't cheap, by the way. It's a lot of money. Thank you. Shout out to Barbecue Pits, man. Top donor of the day. Much love to you. Whew. Love to hear it. Gatekeeper with a 5 says, I'm now a Mega Mac on the Ripperverse site. Thanks for getting me interested in comics again. Yeah, I'll give a big shout out to Gatekeeper, man. He became a member here, and he also became a member on the website, man. That's shout out to all of y'all website members, man. That goes a long way, bros. Trust me. I've said before, if you want to see more animation and you want to see more out of print adaptations and cool promotional stuff that we're doing, if you want to see that stuff continue to be developed, but also want us to take it to the next level, the best way for you to do that is going to be to become a member. And the awesome thing about it, it's not like you're just paying just to pay. Sure, yeah, I'm telling you where we're kind of repurposing those funds, but you also get benefit from it through the cool things that we're going to be doing, member exclusive stuff that we're going to be really doing on the website, but also all the cool things that we're going to be doing with, like, again, I just mentioned the animation and even for yourself, like the shipping and merch discounts and all that. Lots of fun things happening, man. Appreciate y'all big time, man. Yeah, next Ripperzine is it's coming soon. The story, the short story in it. I'm feeling good about it, man. I can't wait for you to see what it is, who wrote it, who drew it. I think a lot of people gonna feel good about that one, bros. East Coast talks about if I want Trump to walk out to an event with 50's mini men. I don't even care if it's the clean version. I just want one thing out of all of this. But yeah, the Ripperzine is a fun thing, man. I really loved how the first one came out, though we went pretty overboard with it because that was a big ass book. That wasn't the original plan, but yeah, shout out to you all because you got fucking basically almost 90 pages for fucking $7. So congrats. But yeah, it's a cool thing for us to again drop. Right now, they're kind of more or less on a quarterly schedule, right? But we're going to be packaging that in multitude of different ways, man. And there's other stories. Maybe there'll be multiple stories in future ones that we're going to be doing with that. Ripperzine is just a nice little vehicle to, we don't have to commit to a series. We don't have to commit to a big book. We can just, here it is. Here's a filler. Do you like it? Do you not? And then we kind of go about our business. We get the information from you, and it's about as audience driven as it can possibly be. You guys are the primary determinant if those stories are gonna get. And who knows? Maybe those stories there'll be a character out of those stories that ends up being like a mainstay. Maybe it even competes with an Isom or a Yaira in terms of the enthusiasm level. We will see. But there are some things that are no brainers. Some things that I guess there are no brainers technically, but there's some that you feel real confident about it because the market cues. And then there's other things where you just don't know. Salvage was one of those. Obviously, I was out of left field. A lot of people, and that's a good thing for some of y'all, right? You have people that love it more than they liked Isom, right? Even though the same guy wrote it, me. So I like it. I like the release format because, again, it allows me to kind of gauge the temperature. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. And that's fair enough too. If you're like, hey, I'm not necessarily a fan of this, we get the feedback and we analyze it because I'm not expecting to bat 100. Nobody does. No company does that. Definitely when you're releasing with such frequency, nothing lands with everybody anyway. It doesn't matter if it's the most popular book in the world. There's going to be people that don't like it and like it. But we know what our audience, we know our general audience, and then we have guys that are coming to the party at a later date, and we want to make sure that we're kind of gauging what kind of material you actually want to read, and we make that. Yeah, imagine that, a company actually trying to, instead of like force the issue and tell you what you should like, we're actually trying to really get that information and filling you out. And we produce what you enjoy. Sounds like a no-brainer. That aspect of it is, and anybody that's in business should understand that. But you'd be surprised, definitely with the mega corporate approach. Seems to be a lot of doing things that's antithetical. It's almost like some of this stuff that I see, man, nowadays is being produced by guys that have way more money than I do. And, it's dead on arrival. And I'm not saying, I want to be clear, whether I like something or dislike something is wholly irrelevant to whether the general audience likes it. I'm able to separate that. I know there's a lot of cockiness that's involved in the arts where you have elitists and people think that they're the ones that dictate what's good, what's not, what's the, what people like and what people don't. One individual cannot do that. That is dictated by the customers. That's dictated by the audience, okay? And I'm totally aware of that. But, when you have that disconnect from the audience, I think what you get a lot of is what you're seeing, and this isn't even a shot at that Suicide Squad game. It's more of just they lost money on it, and I'm just bringing the facts. It was not a profitable venture for them. And it should have been a layup, but it wasn't. And the same can be said for some of the other things that we see. And I think, again, it's you get people in these writers' rooms and these creative rooms and in these creative meetings who are like making material for themselves. And it's like they like it and they're like, hey, this is something that I like. And they're so disconnected from the audience that's already baked in to the good that you're selling, especially when you make material based on existing products or existing properties. Should be a no-brainer, but oftentimes there's a lot of, hey, I'm an elitist approach with some of these clowns, and it never works. And if it does work, it's usually a short time period, because then you're old and nobody gives a fuck about your opinion, and nobody gives a fuck how much you've accomplished at all either. It's wholly irrelevant. People in the gaming sphere and people have found that out the hard way, right? They've been developing games and they've been involved in the industry for X amount of time, only to creatively lay a dud, creatively and economically lay a dud with their next production because nobody's into it, because they were making it for an audience that doesn't really exist. You got to listen to your audience. So that's how we do. That's why the Ripperzine is really going to be an important thing that we do. I think it's going to be, you're going to see a lot of first appearances. But not everything is going to be about new characters, per se. Maybe it's a character that got introduced in another book, and now we're kind of just doing a little short story on them or something. But it's going to be a way, the whole point of that is to do kind of fun things that are in universe, but also tell a new story and engage what the audience wants out of that. If they want it at all, if they've even decided that this is something that they want to buy. It's about you guys. It's about the customers. We got Defender 99 with a 5. Are the short stories in the Ripperzines considered full canon in the Ripperverse? Yeah, for sure. Yes. So when you see like salvage happened within the Ripperverse, obviously all the characters that got introduced in it were new. It does mention the city of Flores Park, but all that stuff exists within the So even if it was like, hey, you guys, though that has not been the feedback that we've gotten, like I said, I'll go more in the thorough detail soon enough. People love salvage. But even if they didn't, it would still have been like, okay, that was an event that happened in the Ripperverse. So, yeah. That's why you got to get those. So definitely if you're one of those, that there's going to be a lot of historians of the Ripperverse and a lot of people that have been there from the jump and pride themselves in being knowledgeable. You're going to want to make sure you get those Ripperzines, and they're a cheap buy-in too. And they have previews, right? That's an important thing that we're doing as well, is that we're funneling a lot of the previews to some of the stories in those Ripperzines. So, the first one, it was done in a different way, because we had already released so many books. So we needed a book that's partially why the book was so damn long, because we had to do previews of like our first fucking 4 books, right? Now we'll be doing like previews for upcoming work. And that way, if you are a person that maybe you've been around, but you just haven't like bought into every single thing and you wanted to fill it out, well, the Ripperzine could be another one. If you were like, hey, I want to know what happened, just a little bit how Alpha looks, how the story's being told, you can go grab the Ripperzine. It's $7 buy-in. You can't beat that with a stick. Can't beat it. Easy money, baby. Logic Fine says, it's such a great point. So many fans and even creators have the attitude that if they don't like something, then that something must be the spawn of Satan, and fans who like it get attacked. Well, yeah, I mean, look, obviously everybody has their opinions, right? You're free to like something, dislike something, and that goes without saying. But yeah, I remember I used to mention this all the time with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? Though I did more favorable reviews than I did negative reviews. I think people often hone in on that Captain Marvel one that I did, and they think that represented like pretty much my opinion of everything, when most of my reviews, my actual formal reviews that I did of comic book media, was positive. But I'd always say, like, even on something that I disliked, if it made money and the audience generally found it favorable, I'm the odd man out, not everybody else. And I can have my reasons, right? And I can defend them, but that doesn't mean that it's the opinion. And I think that's kind of what you're speaking to, is that some people aren't able to detach themselves from that, and they think that their opinion is the opinion, so that they don't like this. And again, it's one thing for you not to like it, and then the general audience didn't like it, and it shows in the fact that it was not profitable. That's one thing. Right? Because then at that point, it's like, well, the general audience has dictated that was the case. But when you have something that's in the black or the green, right? And, you have an enthusiastic fan base and they're actually buying into it, right? Not like stand accounts, right? Faking that shit. Jim from marketing, right? No, we're talking about like genuine enthusiasm. Then that, again, free to dislike or don't like something. But yeah, your opinion is not the opinion. You can voice it. You can argue even about it, but I don't think it's worth it, getting like angry or aggravated at it because someone likes something that you dislike. I think that's kind of where this shit gets silly. We'd argue all day long. We could dispute, and that's fine. But like genuine anger, like as far as someone liking something that was successful that you didn't, that's kind of crazy. It's not healthy. James Watkins with a 5 says, I'm curious to see what how tribal nations handle the war of separation. Were they allowed to exist or wiped out since land and resources are a commodity? Well, the stories that and everything that went down with the war of separation, you guys are going to see some of that developing in future content. It's obviously a very, very important point of history in the Ripperverse, and I can't wait for that story to be told. And it will be told in various ways. It's not going to be simply an information dump. You guys have picked up cues. I think Psalm 2 gave you a massive cue. You first learned out about it and this is why you always buy the cards. Always buy the cards. You found out about it in with Brian's cards. Brian's document cards. And I remember people be like, what's that? What's that all about? What is that? And then Psalm 2 comes along, and you guys remember the conversation that was happening between Goodyng and Psalm. Now, I like that form of storytelling because we're dropping little tidbits, right? You're learning a little more about the war through that means, but there will be like some probably longer formatted material that's specifically speaking to the events of the Great War of Separation. But I do think I have a lot more fun showing you guys that as opposed to like writing it, unless I'm like doing like an actual novel, like just dumping information. That's not going to be that fun. Brandon has just confirmed since then almost 10 cover C's have been bought. 34 of these are left, guys. 34. I got to be a salesman. 34 of this lovely cover. To me, I mean, you can make this argument, man. It's like one of the, if not the best cover C that we've done up to now as far as the application. I mean, just look at this damn thing. Look at how it shines. Only 34 of these are left. It won't be reprinted. So the first initial stock, and by first initial stock, I mean, remember, we always sell under how many we get printed because we need to make sure that we have enough to get you guys all the way through the campaign. Grab it. Sunny Man with a 2. No message. Drops 2. Leaves. Respect. So yeah, Bart Sears works. Speaking of salvage, Bart Sears is down to do something longer format. He's already told me. I mean, again, it's all based on the audience. So he's down. We'll see what happens. I said never reprinted. No, that's a fact. Never reprinted. If we say never reprinted, it's not getting reprinted. Can't wait to get until I get I Want It All. Yeah. Those are always a good way to save some money, man. You get those I Want It Alls. Just grab it. And it's going to be a lot easier to get those cheaper buy-in with the collections not being as robust and having, books and the CGCs and posters, multiple posters and cards and whatever other merchandise thing, hats. And so it can get up there. But, with the collection format, it's supposed to be smaller and contained. Got my cover C. Can't wait to get my hands on that, man. I can't wait for you to grab it, man. All of the covers look good. I mean, cover B, Will Conrad, again, one of the best in the business. His work is so good, man. Check him out on the cover B. This is a limited cover as well as Kanan's cover and cover A. Exciting, baby. All right, Patrick with 11 months says, I want to make a guess on Isome's power or reciprocity. He can train to replicate physical skills used against him, such as a speed boost. Interesting. Okay. It's been fun watching people kind of guess. And the Sasuke can back me on it. Whatever y'all think more or less is the source of his powers, I don't think anybody's going to guess it. Like, in its entirety, right? I've seen tidbits of people dropping it out there. But I did something that I searched high and low. Like the first character is going to mean a lot to myself as well as this universe. I want to do something so unique with more or less how he is, the way that he is. So I think you guys are going to love that as more information. But that's also part of the journey as well, is y'all finding that out instead of me just saying, oh, here's his powers, and this is, he got them being bit by a rhino or some shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to do that. If I meet you in person, would you be willing to sign merch? Absolutely. I sign, when I do my events and we do the meetups or we do the con, that's what I'm there for. I'm there to sign books and merch and whatever and take pictures. So absolutely. Bit by Rhino confirmed. No, that's not how he got his powers. I don't blame the witch and she cursed him. Good guess, Dan. Sir Book Sage. Good point. It's because he has the exaggerated swagger of a black man. Well, Isom's casual though. He'll roll up in a little polo shirt and some jeans and call it. He doesn't quite have the exaggerated swagger because he doesn't jump off roofs at 2 frames per second with Jordan 1s on. And style. It's not really his thing. Not really his thing. But yeah, it's going to be a journey, man, and it's so fun, man. Like, just sitting here theorizing and seeing you guys do that, it's been awesome, man, to see it. So what comics should be about, man. My theory of Isom's power is uncapped potential. With infinite training, he can be definitely strong and durable. His infinitely strong and durable, excuse me. His only limiter is a finite lifespan, and that's why Cedric emphasizes time when talking to Avery. It says Defendo 99 with a 20. Interesting theory. Okay. That's fair enough. Someone did guess it. Would I acknowledge it? No. Not even close. I just NDA you. It's fun though seeing you guys guess about it though. Just ordered the box and 3 books. Well, shout out to you. Much love. And I can't wait for us to get like the forums and stuff live. Like I said, we got an audience spread out between different places, but definitely our really enthusiastic guys are going to be members, right? And you get access to those forums, and it's going to be fun to see kind of all of y'all chat and shit. Theorize and have the fun of comic book. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I'm with you right there. I mean, I think that's why a lot of, the Ripperverse works the way that it does, is because, yes, we have pros, but, it's very, definitely like myself, who have been a fan, an actual fan of comics my entire life, and not just like I think people tend to look at it differently depending on what interests you, right? Like I came from this from like a purely fan perspective, right? My introduction to comics. It was not, hey, you may have your aspirations, but I didn't go into getting into comics like I wanted to draw, like I wanted to write, like I wanted to. No, I came at it from, I just like this. I enjoy this as a medium, and I think a lot of people that share that perspective, that's the part of the fun. It is that aspect. I think Western storytelling's got a little weird because, and it's not exclusive to comics, but the more information dump approach and I think that's appealing to creators, right? Then more appealing to creators than it is audiences. Not to say that audiences don't there aren't audiences that are into that type of shit. I think it depends on kind of how attracted that you are to like that medium, because like maybe in a novel format it's a little more, I mean even then they can be novels can be even more like, I guess they do have the informational aspect too. They're very informative, right? But like with comics, man, I think a lot of the fun is like you're not having your hand held. And like I talked about, you guys have heard me talk about this before. The East doesn't have that problem. Like, and when I say problem, I'm meaning like, who the fuck knew Goku was a Saiyan? Like how many Dragon Balls did you get before you knew that his ass was or what even a Saiyan was? And there was never a point of, man, we really need to know exactly how he can do all he can do and what his capabilities of, and I need to know that by the first issue. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's not a problem with the One Piece. What the fuck is the One Piece? Right? And how many volumes in are we on that? You see what I'm saying? It's like the East doesn't have that problem. So it is, but I do think it's more of a divide between creator and audience, in how they consume or what they get out of the medium, right? So it's been intriguing to kind of watch, because I prefer the approach of it's like when it's appropriate. There are more characters. There are certain characters where I do believe that it makes sense for you to know kind of, okay, off rip, why they can do what they can do, right? And it makes sense for them. It's the context. But I do think part of the journey, in learning about it and getting invested in the character is, also there's a journey in learning why they are the way that they are. And I think that should be a creative. I think that's fun to be creative with revealing that. And I think it's more fun for the audience as opposed to, and not to say there aren't people that may like it this way, but as opposed to, hey, here's the first 3 pages and I'm just going to tell you, oh, here's Isom, this is who he is, this is what he does, why he's the way that he is. He was bit by a radioactive rhino and now he has the powers of many. Whatever the fuck. Something like, and now, with 2 pages into the book and all, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if that's fun, for a significant amount of the audience. So I do think context matters because, yes, there may be characters where it does make sense to be a little more upfront with it because of where they place themselves or where you have as the creator, for the sake of the audience, have placed them into that universe. 150 plus original Dragon Ball episodes, and no one knew why Goku had a tail. Just like damn vast. So yeah, it's about the journey. I think that's if you're I understand that some people use art mediums as a way to show off, right? It's a way to, it's like almost therapeutic for you to be loved and adored for your creative mind or whatever. Like, I totally understand that. But I do think there's a difference between someone that looks at it through that lens and someone that maybe looks at it through the audience's lens. And I've said this before, so I'm repeating myself, but the Ripperverse, we're not creating the Ripperverse with it in mind that you even consider. And I don't think that would be a good approach if we did it any other way. But we're not doing the creative stuff like with the idea that, hey, you're just gonna dispose of this and then move on to someone else's shit. Like, no, I'm like making this the people that are gonna be invested in it. Like, this is your go-to form of entertainment. So it's a completely different approach. Beardo says, "Wake up!" I'm up, bro. I'm wide awake. Made 2 trips to the headquarters. Grabs some of our books so I can show them off. Shout out Beardo. Beardo and Dan Vast, co-hosts, are in here. Bro Science is taking over officially. They are taking over the page on a Saturday. They already stream over us, over the Ribbon and Silverback, so they took over that show, and now my unplanned show on a Saturday, which is not my show spot because I don't do shows on Saturday. They took that over as well. Son of a bitch. No, shout out Dan Vast and Beardo. Big shout out. Defender 99 with a 5. We all know that Icearm's true powers are from redacted due to NDAs. Yeah. Barbecue Pits with a 10 said, I don't know what the source of Icearm's power is, but I can tell from the document cards and the first 2 books that he's going to be OP. He strikes me as a black taskmaster with super strength. Interesting. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure with a 5 says, will you ever consider releasing a villain short box in the future? Of course. If the audience wants that, absolutely. Emily Kruger with a 2 says, happy Saturday. Shout out to you, Emily. What's up? How you doing? Happy Saturday to you as well. We're just chilling on a random Saturday. Just wanted to say what's up to the audience because, books. Let me actually go to the collections page. I think we're closing in on, we might have already been at 9,400 books, but yes, Brandon reported not too long ago about 30 of these are left. So once they sell out, they're sold out. And it'll be a tough luck kind of situation. So if you were waiting to get that cover, you might want to go grab that right now. Might want to do that. But yeah, man, you guys are going to really, really enjoy this. Again, Will Conrad's one of the best in the business. He did such phenomenal work on this book. So I think you guys are going to thoroughly enjoy it. I still say Isom is similar to Saitama. Okay? One Punch Man. Respect. I can respect it. I respect it. Trying to think of reasons not to get cover C. There are none. Just get it. Just go for it. Why not? Okay. So we already discussed the short box. And by the way, with some of these collections, not with this one, but with some of these collections, there will be early fulfillment. We're trying to push them far enough out to give us enough wiggle room, because, you know, when you're, you know, relying on third parties for delivering a product, you know, you kind of got to make sure that you give yourself a cushion, because, you know, what happens when they're not on their game. Let's say that. So early fulfillment may start, but we'll usually push them out just to make sure that, okay, we'll at least commit to this date. But if we ever are to the point where, okay, we're ready, team's prepped, and it's 2 weeks still left in the collection, we'll just start shipping the bitches out. So yeah. I think the point is, Hell the Lord is in the chat. What's up? Says, I think with Ice on, the point was not to be over the top with the character powers and abilities. He's supposed to be more classic and simple. Well, I mean, part of that has to do with his design as well. You know, we have characters that have a little more intricate design, a little more flashy. Isom is like, he does have a sleek, simpler, you know, design to him as far as like his attire. Looks great, but it's familiar, I guess it would be the term, and that's by design. It's like I'm trying to do two things here, right? Well, that was the point when we launched the Ripperverse. Like, there's the disenfranchised general comic book fan that's been around, they're lifers, and I want to make sure that we have something for them, while also being able to capture some of the guys that this may be their first book that they ever get, you know. So yeah, it was fun character to create. All of them were fun. I mean, to be fair, but you know, Isom and some of his family members were the first characters that I created in the Ripperverse when I was first developing the Universe Bible, which now is being kept up by Jen and Sylvia, which they do a great job of making sure those entries are up to date, so easy for, you know, future writers as well as ourselves to make sure from a continuity standpoint, and they do a great job of that. And you know, I don't think I'm telling you guys too much. There'll be things that, and I love Jen and Sylvia for this, like, you know, it's their job, right? The job as a Lord Master is to make sure everything from a continuity perspective makes sense. And even if it's minor, like, there'll be something that'll be wrote in a future book, and it could even be me, right? And a point that was made, and they'll reach out, Jen and Sylvia, and they'll say, hey, this may conflict with this event. Do we want to adjust? And we're like, yeah, we need to adjust it this way. And sometimes it's not like a wholesale change. Most times it's not like I need to change the entire story. No, but it's like, you know, as a company that values the continuity, you know, having them around to make sure that everybody is on their shit. And, you know, having a team, basically, there's two of them, right? Which is awesome. That are specifically tasked with that makes everybody else's job easy here. It's so fun. And, you know, I feel like, and this is just a pro tip, if you end up having the ambition that we have, or like we have, like where you're very universe oriented, because I get it, not everybody's into that stuff. Some people are just wanting to do stories that are one-off, do cool characters that are like one-offs and stuff like that. But if you're like, universe is a big point of sale, you for sure, and you're going to be like constantly releasing material, I do think that's if you're not going to do it yourself, task somebody with that. It'll make your life easier, but it also just will make it a more enjoyable experience for the audience, because there's going to be a lot of consistency. So yeah, man, shout out to the Soskas, because I love to see that. It's a fun time over here, man. Everything's just fun. Like fun. Work is fun. It's work, but I mean, it's also enjoyable. Very enjoyable. Okay. So like I said, tomorrow I will end up doing a closeout stream. I'll let you guys know the time on my form of social media. Not exactly sure. All right, so I think I'm gonna call it then. Yeah, go grab cover C. Again, there's not that many of these left. There were 30 or so. Probably by the end of the day, them shits they'll be gone, and you will have missed out. We'll see if we get close to the 10,000 mark. I have no idea if we're gonna get there. We'll see. But man, what a milestone that would be. So go grab your covers. A, B, and C are going to be available to you. Covers A, B, and C. Go grab it. But I'm going to bounce. I'm going to go get back to work. It's already been a long morning for me. It's in the afternoon now, shit. But all right, guys, I'm going to bounce. You guys are amazing. I appreciate you. But let me get up out of here. Till next time, y'all be easy and yeah. Peace out.